Alright, so if you wanted a geeky movie with geeky references, but you thought Scott Pilgrim was too good, here's the movie for you.
Yeah, that kind of sums it up.
Yeah, it's basically, the way I was thinking about it in my head was, it's like Scott Pilgrim in that they have all the geeky references, but like the Star Wars remastered version of it, where they just throw all the CGI add-ons at you.
Hold on, I'm still trying not to seize from all the CGI they threw at me. I'm everywhere. Geez, you threw so much in.
Yeah, it was.
And yeah, I mean, at least Scott Pilgrim was funny at parts.
Yeah, they kind of parsed it out too with the references.
Yeah, here's a reference for you, here's a reference for you, and oh, you like this, then here's that. In this movie, I just felt like somebody decided to have a lot of corn the night before, and then took a strong laxative, and then just pooped references every 4 seconds.
So it was visual diarrhea.
Yeah, I'm surprised that the movie's not dehydrated from everything it just pooped. I'm actually worried for the movie's health at this point.
I was telling you guys, it basically seems like they got the rights for DC. I mean, they had a lot of different references in here, but they got the rights for DC, Mortal Kombat, and specifically Tracer, and they used the shit out of those properties.
Yeah, I know Harley Quinn is like hot property right now, but I mean, come on, DC has other characters that I may have liked to have seen.
It was all Batman, wasn't it?
It really was all.
Characters.
It was all Batman references.
Batman, Deathstroke, Harley.
I mean, there was the emblem for the greatest American hero, but yeah, that's more of a lantern thing, I guess. I guess there was a Gundam wing. I don't know who property that.
It was just a straight up Gundam.
Yeah, I wish they would have said like which Gundam that is, because I'm not too familiar with.
It's from the original
Gundam.
The first Gundam.
Did it not have a name? It was just called Gundam.
It was just Gundam.
Because you know what?
There was only one Gundam.
Honestly, I think I would have actually geeked out in this movie is if the Gundam with the scythe showed up. You know, the black one that's driven by the American.
Yeah, that's
the dope Gundam.
Honestly, I was thinking to myself, I've always been a Wing Zero fan.
Yeah.
But basically, we're saying
I like the heavy arms.
And if it was from Gundam Wing, that we would have been like, yeah.
Yep.
Our reference.
Yeah, no Gundam Wing, just original. It's fine. That's fine. You had Battletoads.
Yeah.
So, but they didn't have like Pawn Stars.
They had Mortal Kombat, and they were all climbing this giant tower. I swear to God, I thought it was going to be like the intro to Armageddon at the top, where you just see zombie Liu Kang fighting people. But they didn't include it.
Once again, would have geeked out for that. But outside of that, I didn't really have. I think Battletoads was probably the geekiest moment I had. Other than that, I was like, okay.
They brought in Street Fighter at the end.
Yeah.
To the actual story of the movie, because we can go on about all the visual references they hammer in there. It is so little like the book that it's not even worth mentioning. I was going in there saying like, man, that book sucked. I can't wait to just hammer on like, oh, they did this from the fucking book. They didn't do anything from the book, and that's honestly, I think that makes it better for it.
Yeah, actually, I was about the same thing. It's like somebody gave the book to Spielberg, and Spielberg is kind of like, oh, that's great. This is a popular thing. Let me do a movie about it. And then he threw it back in Ernest Cline's face and say, this book sucks. Why are people reading it? Write me a script that's actually better. And he did.
Yeah. This is much more interesting than the book, even though it's kind of...
There were no war game references.
Yeah, oh god, there wasn't like a quote-along challenge.
Yeah.
So that's nice. Because I don't think that was like...
Tactical thermal nuclear war, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're not going to go there, bro.
Yeah, that's fine. That was cringy in the book, and I'm really glad it wasn't in the movie.
You know, I'm actually kind of glad that they had the Shining reference, because I'm a big fan of the movie The Shining.
That was my favorite part of the movie, I think, was the whole Shining just area of it and all the stuff they were doing until it became like a weird Freddy Krueger horror sequence.
Yeah, no,
I could have done without that.
No, yeah, they were going with the girl in the bathtub. They needed the guy in the suit being blown by the bear, but I guess this movie's PG-13.
Yeah.
So we're gonna skip that.
Yeah, I know we were gonna miss out on that, and everyone was bleeding coins because it is PG-13.
Yeah.
But yeah, up until it got to like the weird Freddy Krueger horror nightmare sequence, I was enjoying all the stuff that they were doing with the Shining references. This movie got a laugh out of me when they had when they threw the Chucky doll, and it was like, what the hell is this? And then the guy just looks and goes, fucking Chucky! And he's just tearing through people. It was overly CGI as shit, but it was fun.
Yeah.
The whole world
As a
was
fan of
CGI.
horror, that's fine. It's all good.
And other than the Shining thing, I did enjoy just big mech battles, just because I love big stupid mech battles.
Yep.
So if you're gonna put like Mechagodzilla versus the Iron Giant versus a Gundam, of course I'm gonna like it, because who doesn't want to see that kind of bullshit?
I do enjoy that bullshit. Once again, I would have preferred a Gundam Wing.
Yeah.
Mechagodzilla, pretty dope. It's
Yeah.
fine.
And Vin Diesel.
And then Vin Diesel. They didn't. I guess they couldn't get Vin Diesel because he didn't say Superman.
Yeah.
Right before he died and did the Terminator thumbs up thing.
Yeah. Which I like all the Terminator thumbs up anytime it's in a video game.
That's
but
true.
I can't really fault it here, because like, damn it.
Oh yeah, the story. We're talking about that.
Right, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
There's
yeah.
a story in here
Yeah.
somewhere.
So it's kind of like the book, except the quests kind of start getting very different.
Mostly.
And then I don't know. I mean, like story-wise, just as a story by itself, it was just.
Yeah.
It's just. I'm a nerd. I'm gonna write a fan fiction. I mean, it's Mary Sue story.
Yeah.
It is a
Yeah.
Mary Sue story.
He's Billy Every Nerd.
Wade Wilson. No, what's his name? It's not Wade
Lots.
Wilson.
Lots.
Lead lots.
I wish this movie had Wade Wilson.
Surprising no Deadpool in here.
Anyway, I know, really. Yeah, Marvel. DC.
Yeah.
Marvel. So, yeah, I mean, he's just your Mary Sue. He's supposed to do all the things, and he knows all the things, and he's good at all the things.
Yeah.
And he can figure out all the things, and everybody likes him except for the bad guy. But even the bad guy at the end can't pull the trigger because he doesn't have the balls to do it,
Yeah.
or even unplug him in the middle of the thing, or at least say, hey, kid, I got you.
Pretty much like the end of Zoolander, when he looks at him carrying the egg and he just goes, it's beautiful, and
Oh,
he
it
can't
is.
do it. He
Wow.
can't pull the trigger.
Yeah. Wow. So he just blue steeled the bad guy.
He did.
Huh.
With an egg.
Huh. I'd rather enjoy that. Alright, that's fine. So yeah. I don't know, the plot was incredibly just thin when you expected to. The love interest part seemed forced. It
Yeah.
was just like, you're not gonna love who I really am, even though I have like this cool domino like birthmark that's pretty dope.
Yeah. Yeah, it was probably better in my head when reading the story.
Yeah.
Just because it was like, okay, well, she's really building it up, and then yeah, they get to it, just like, oh yeah, I think she has like a mark on her face.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's about it.
Yeah, I mean Psylocke had the same thing.
Yeah.
And that's fine. I mean, if they actually went all out and decided to take some chances, like half her face would be just like uber scarred, and you can see side of her jaw. It's kind of like
Yeah.
Two-Face from Batman Returns, and it's I still love you, even though you look like Two-Face.
Well, you look like Tommy Lee Jones.
Or I was going with Aaron
It has to
Eckhart,
have
but
beautiful people.
Oh, okay.
The beautiful
You
people.
said Batman Returns.
oh yeah, wrong Batman. I guess I'm not allowed to make reference movies.
Say The Dark Knight. I don't know what we're going with.
Yeah. I don't know.
Plus, it's even harder to love her if she looks like Tommy Lee Jones, so it's more of
I
a
don't know.
compliment, really.
I think there's more to love when he looks like Tommy Lee Jones.
That's what I'm saying. It proves.
Yeah.
So the story.
All
Oh
right.
yeah, hey, how's it going? I just okay. One thing I think.
Fine.
Yeah, I mean it's there, but it's also not what I expected from a Spielberg movie. It just.
It had logical inconsistency and a feel-good ending.
Oh yeah, that's right. I guess it is a Spielberg movie. It wasn't anything like. I mean, it was just a CGI mess. The actual stuff he had to direct was just. I felt like anybody could have done that.
Yeah, I suppose.
I mean, it wasn't anything just like grandiose. It was just like it was all the CGI guys doing the work. They're the real directors.
Pretty much. make sure you have Tracer show up and do something Tracer, like
Yeah, yeah.
warp or something.
Forget to put in Jason Voorhees and
You know,
Freddy.
I did like that reference with Goro having the alien pop out because Mortal Kombat X has the Xenomorph
It does.
and Goro.
Yeah, yeah.
So I was like, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
I like
and it does have Freddy, and it does have.
Very slightly as Freddy. He's just in the beginning just to get shot.
Yeah. I'll say Mortal Kombat.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I think that was 9 or the reboot.
Something like that. About the only other things I can say about it that were kind of like weird or complaints was kind of the way they rushed through bits of the book, I guess, that happened, or kind of shorthanded, and other logical consistencies, like people just standing out in the street wearing their Oasis thing. Somehow no one's running into a building or kicking someone else next to them.
Getting run over.
Yeah.
And then the whole respawn business where it's like, all right, yeah, you're hooked into this machine. I guess it has just some kind of ID with your face or something that no matter where you are, you logged into your avatar. So
Yeah.
it doesn't matter what you're logged into. That
Yeah.
makes sense. But why are you here? Then when you die and respawn, you have to go somewhere else?
Yeah. They didn't make that clear.
Yeah.
They're just kind of there.
I think
And-
the corporation just has, like the busy terminals and then the
Yeah.
reboot terminals.
I guess that makes sense.
Reboot, get your thing, and then get back in line.
Uh-huh. And then the business with Daito and Shoto, I guess they just shorthand just said they're resistance fighters. That's just that's a part of it.
It's just a
Because-
thing now.
And the other one, they were just two, I think, brothers or friends or something like that, who knew each other, and they were all the way in like Japan or something like that, and they didn't want to team up with them at all, but just shorthand, just quick, we need them in the story. So suddenly they just like they went from like, oh yeah, those guys are cool, they're badasses. Then in the next shot, they're all like together, they come in together. It was sudden.
Yeah, it's like now everything's cool, and everybody lives in Ohio apparently.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah.
And I think in the book, like one of them dies. They're actually killed by them, but I guess child murder isn't any good.
No, not in a Spielberg movie.
Damn it! I need more child murder in my life.
Well, just in Spielberg
In your
movies, just to make
movies.
things interesting.
I meant what I said. So overall, so me and you have read the book.
Yes.
There's really nothing to talk about there.
No Voltron, but
There's
I guess they got a Gundam, so there's a trade-in.
Yeah, I mean it's whatever. I guess WB could get their whatever was WB property that they could use.
Do they own Astro Boy? Because I would have liked to see more Astro Boy.
I don't know. I think that was like a Cartoon Network thing. I don't know if WB owns.
from Warner.
I don't know. I know they did a reboot for Cartoon Network. I think.
Actually,
Oh, then we
yes.
could have had some Powerpuff Girls then, because they own Cartoon Network, don't they?
I don't know. I
Yeah.
guess.
Oh, that's
If they do, then there's a lot of missed opportunities. They
Oh
could-
yeah, yeah.
Why stop at Gundam? Where's my big O?
Oh yeah, that would have been awesome.
Right, so.
I mean, they could have made it an anime shit show. They could have.
Yeah,
It would've
they
been fun.
really would have.
I mean,
Probably would have been too much, actually.
yeah. I mean, it was
already
already
quite a
way
bit.
too much. Hey, did anybody get the moral of the story? The moral of the story is like don't drown yourself in virtual reality. Like go out there and enjoy the real world. And I kind of felt it was lost in there because I wasn't sure what was going on. Like there's a guy looking for an egg, and there's another dude with the gun, and everyone's just kind of like, oh, we're supposed to protect Wade, but
Yeah.
we're just gonna clear a way so he can go and shoot
Yeah,
him.
what was up with that?
And I'm kind of like, you guys aren't sticking up for your homie. That's fine. Good for you guys. A lot of backbone there.
Like, damn, he's just holding the gun up. Someone in back of him. Fucking reach.
Yeah. I mean, you guys have played enough action games to know that you can disable somebody.
See, that's where the real message comes in. Turns out video game violence doesn't translate to real world violence.
I guess.
None of them could stop him. They were all too pussy to try to even fight.
Yeah. And I don't know, it's like, and then, hey, we're shutting down the Oasis on T days so people can go out and do stuff. And it's like, well, I mean, so that's the moral of the story is don't completely immerse yourself. Don't die like a guy in a Korean internet bar, essentially.
Yeah. What if your only days off are on Tuesdays and Thursdays? You just want to unwind. You're like, fuck.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like, man, I work, every day this week except for Tuesdays and Thursdays. Those are my days off. And the Oasis is unplugged. So, I guess I'll do laundry.
Sucks for that guy.
Selfish
Yeah,
bastard.
yeah. Like that's probably in the real world. Like all your entry level hourly employees have those days off, and all the managers, you know, have like the weekends. So it's real
Yeah.
life. Okay, there you go. It's real life, and I kind of hate it now. Do we rate this movie, or what do we do?
I don't do number ratings.
Do we just? Because I'll give it.
I usually just do like a last thoughts kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, I'll give it a rating. I'm gonna give it. I'll give it 3 meh out of whatever.
Okay.
I thought it was fun.
Yeah.
I will give it a pickled egg out of 3 Easter bunnies.
Ooh.